What's up, guys? All right. It is Friday. Ooh, Friday before a long weekend, a long holiday weekend. So let's see what we could see today. Again, please like and subscribe. Take the minute out to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And so today we're going to review the price action and see what's going on. So on the 12-hour, we had a very strong retracement. So let's look at it on the 12-hour before we zoom back in. We had a run up, a pullback, a run up, and then a pullback. So the question is, where will we turn to go back up, right? And so if you go back and watch the Fibonacci retracement video where I showed you, we went up, pulled back to the Fibonacci retracement of it was a 61.8. We had an extension up to 61.8, and then now we're in a pullback right around that 61.8, a little bit lower than it. We're just hovering there in that area. Feel a really interesting decision point to say, will we go back higher or will we continue down to the next level? So let's look to see what we could find out, what we could see to help us in terms of a decision making. But remember, this week we have not had a buying opportunity for this account. I did in my other account right at that level pick up a BNB because I figured it's a discount and I didn't want it to leave me. It's still not at a buy zone, so I'm not buying for this account. So the plan for this account is to buy in the buy zone. And I don't see anything that's going to make me want to not do that. So here we go. This is it. On the 4-hour, came up, pulled back, came up, and pulled back. So this is the spot, right? This is that support area and the 61.8% retracement. High probability area to turn back up, but with the weekend coming, volume light, who knows what could happen, right? So that's why we follow the chart and we see what the chart is telling us, and then if it gets into a buy zone, we buy. So let's look what that would look like, and in regards to a fib, if we were to get down there. So if we draw a Fibonacci, all right. So yeah, we're right around that 61.8. We dipped a little bit lower, right to that support area. So now let's see what happens. Do we try to go test this support area and then turn for 100% retracement from the lows here, from this low? And if we get here, that's in our buy zone. This line right here is really where the buy zone begins for us, right? So that's the top of our buy zone, roughly around this area. And look at that. This is where we had went last time. It's funny how they all line up, right? And then down here, we know that's like really interesting, right? It's you throw everything at it because you could get this thing at a complete discount. All right, so what do we see? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Not a lot of activity. Not a lot of activity. It is, well, it was more to the downside. So we are showing a little bit of life around here, but the volume is struggling. And remember our plan, right? We don't become buyers even till we get to our zone. But if we're trying to ride a wave and we think it's not going to go higher, I don't buy below this from this account. It's got to show me, it's got to convince me that it's moving on up. And right now, as long as it's riding this line down like it rode it up, I'm not convinced from this account that I want to jump in. But this is a high probability area. You can see it's doing the same thing that it did when it hit the high probability area up here. It came to it, drifted off, came back to it, and then it double topped and came right back down. Let's see how long it stays down here. Or let's see if today it just takes off and it starts to go, which tells us it's respecting this area. But this is a nice area to keep an eye out for today to see what happens. And again, identify your buy zone. Again, I'm telling you what I'm doing, but you should have your own plan. This is my buy zone down here. And once we get down here, I am buying, right, for this account. And so it's going to be an interesting week if we don't buy any. Well, we already bought our BNB for this week last week, so we weren't supposed to buy anyway. But it'll be a good comparison when I do the weekly wrap up to see the difference between last week when we were buying a lot because the price was right and it was in our zone, to this week where we were just hodling to see what we get from a reflection and a BNB rewards, just so that we could really compare the two to see the potential between the two, right? So I'm really excited to see what the weekly recap is going to look like. But as for right now, it's again, it looks like it wants to pop up. Let's see what happened. But it came down, tested, popped up, came down, tested again. It's in the 30 minutes, so it's hard to kind of call it a double bottom, but it's really not, because it never really moved away from it and it never challenged it. So even in the 1 hour, it came down, tested it, popped up, came down, tested it. Let's see if it tries to make its move up. But as it stands right now, we are getting a nice pullback, and that's why in my other account I bought in here. But for this account, our agreement is below this line right here. We become buyers, and let's see if it tries to test the lows here. I definitely don't think it's going to test the lows here, but if it does try, I'm making a run for it. I'm making sure that I have the BNBs on the side, waiting for this opportunity to happen. But it's really, I don't see a high probability of us getting down here right now. So let's see how this fight up here turns out today. So thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.